Previously, we covered the two stages of Chinese traditional artistic perspective development. The first stage was the one directed, guided by the Confucianism, very realistically dealing with the issues and the world. With that on your mind, you observe the world realistically. You look at a mountain and you see a mountain. Pretty natural. Elevated from that stage to the next stage, the Chinese intellectuals, bureaucrat artists, driven by Taoism as the guiding philosophy, they observe the world with the artistic perspective going beyond the subject itself, in reference to the eternity of universe. Anything representing, replicating momentary truth was not so desirable. In fact, they probably looked down upon such perspective as realistic. Remember, these are sophisticated and complicated mind of Chinese intellectuals. And then, theoretically, to go to the next stage of the artistic perspective, it is to be guided by Zennism, which sees through the entire human lifespan, and of course the whole world is empty. Mountains or whatever did not really mean much. With such artistic perspective, a random ink brush stroke can be interpreted in many different ways, and probably there was not a right way. Depends who you ask. The meaning of life becomes so abstract, therefore the so-called Zen painting could be extremely abstract. Of course, lots of room for interpretations too. In fact, in the Chinese art history, to the best of my knowledge, there's no such a genre identifying Zen paintings. It was, and it still is, a genre in the Japanese art history where the history actually started with such paintings. In fact, it was the monks who were the professional artists in the Japanese art history. They were the first breed of artists before the other kind of artists came out. And at the time, after the early stage of Manchu Empire, somehow the art of the time in China found their way to Japan, where the Japanese visual arts had been up to that point dominated by the Chinese painting and art style from the Yuan and Song dynasty. Very different from Ming dynasty and Qing dynasty. It was then a new Japanese art school emerged as the Southern Painting School, which basically were the new Japanese cultural elite art school. Now, this sounded the same, but it's different.